Hello everyone, it's Imran here. Welcome back to the video. So I'm going to react to another Thomas and Friends audio story by Crewe Adams. This is episode 9 of season 7, the final audio stories. And this one is one I've been looking forward to as it was teased. It was teased all the way back at the end of last year it was. And this one is Henry's Crewe. Yep, that's right. We are going to see how Henry got on at Crewe. There's not really many stories in the fandom showing how Henry got on during his time in his rebuild at Crewe. But Kiefer has answered our prayers, and we're finally getting a story where we look at Henry's time at Crewe years. The one I reacted to on Thursday, which was from last Sunday, was The Surprise in the Hills, and that was a really good one. It was. You want to see Max out how the top rank on your screen? I reacted to. I think it was that one. Yeah, it was Thursday. Definitely, it was. So make sure you see my that out. I'm just gonna say I should have said it in my last video reaction I just uploaded with the SMG4 reaction that I'm not going to be uploading any videos tomorrow because it's Eid tomorrow. I celebrate the Islamic holiday of Eid. I do, so I'm going to be out tomorrow. It will sort of be no videos tomorrow, meaning next videos will probably be next Thursday. It will, but I'm Easter holiday next week, so throughout the Easter holiday, you should be getting a whole bunch of videos your way. So yeah, I've been really looking forward to this audio story when it was first teased. It was finally going to see what happens when what Henry got up to during his rebuild at Crewe. And he's going to be making a new engine named Bahamas. So yeah, another one of Kiefer's OC characters. Let's see if she turns out to be good. I think it's a she. She it is. Link for him to in the description down below as always. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into this.
Henry's Crewe, written and told by Crewe Adams. Long ago, when the North Western Railway was still practically new, Edward arrived at Wellsworth Station with a passenger train. He was very surprised to see a new engine in the siding nearby. Workmen were fussing over him, and the fat director, Sir Charles Topham Hatt, was stood nearby, wearing his overalls. The engine did not look well at all. His steam was faint, and he looked ill. "He looks like an Atlantic," exclaimed Edward. "But if I wasn't mistaken, he's got parts of an LNER Pacific too." His driver was just about to agree when, "I wanted an Atlantic, not this piece of rubbish," Sir Charles
reference to that meme that's been going around in the Thomas fandom, I think since the end of last year, start of this year it has. I wanted an Atlantic. I love the fact that Kiefer made that reference right there to that meme.
Boomed at the top of his voice. The engine looked weakly over. Edward was about to find out that one day this engine would be painted green with red stripes and would become known as Henry. Years went by, and Henry had just had a nasty accident involving the fish train known as the Flying Kipper. The Fat Controller was planning to send Henry to Crewe, where he would get a larger firebox and a new shape, as the firebox alone had been the cause of Henry's troubles. "Like I told you before, Henry," said the Fat Controller, "do not blame yourself for the accident. Winter can be a harsh time for any engine. I promise you that Crewe will do their best to make you feel better." "Thank you, sir," said Henry, but he still felt rather doubtful. Edward stood nearby. "Can I help?" he asked. "Just make sure all my trains are fine while I'm away," said Henry, "and tell Thomas not to worry if you see him at the junction." "Of course," said Edward respectfully.
Even though I think Thomas was one of the engines who didn't appreciate Henry's like this because of his illness, but I think Thomas became more sympathetic over time. Not sure about Gordon and James, though.
James was taking midnight goods over to the other railway anyway, so the Fat Controller arranged for Henry to be part of the train, and James could drop him off at the station at the end of the line. Another engine could then take Henry onto Crewe. All the while, through the journey up, Henry began to worry. Would he ever be the same engine again after his rebuild? That was what he was going to find out.
Let's find out.
Weeks turned into months.
Look at this.
And while Henry was
Henry
at
being
Crewe,
rebuilt.
he had a lot done to him. His cab
Look at
was
that.
removed, and his firebox was in the process of being next. He was also going to have some arches on the sides of his smoke box, similar to what Gordon had. The workmen had even suggested to take off Henry's splashers, although, if Henry still wanted them, he could have them back at a later date. "This feels rather uncomfortable," shivered Henry as the men continued to work. "I wish I could be a whole engine again." One of the workmen, scrubbing off Henry's paintwork, chuckled. "Don't worry, Henry," he said. "You'll be all right soon. These things just take time." All the same, Henry wished for his rebuild to be finished quickly.
Must be very boring for
At
Henry.
long last, Henry's new shape had fully been completed. But he was now left in a dark grey primer. His green paint with red stripes had been stripped off, while his cab and new firebox had been installed. Henry sat rather awkwardly outside the works of Crewe, but was surprised to hear an engine's whistle. Sure enough, a majestic green Black 5 rolled up to Henry.
Oh, that's a reference to the bases that Henry was rebuilt to in the Railway series right there. I like the fact because it was a Black 5 it was, so I like the Railway series reference right there, even though this is more on the TVS timeline, it is Kiefer.
"Oh," she greeted. "I didn't expect anyone to be here." "Well, there's just me," replied Henry. "You're the first engine I've seen who stopped and noticed." The engine smiled. Then she looked carefully at Henry. "Well, bless me," she exclaimed. "You must be a Sudrian engine." "I am," replied Henry,
Sudrian.
and he introduced himself. "Bahamas," replied the engine. "My owners are part of a society. I got restored too, and I'm quite happy with it." "You're in good shape as much as I am at the moment," chuckled Henry. Bahamas smiled. "Well, Henry," she said, "your rebuild looks splendid. Maybe when you have your final tests I can come watch." "It would be an honour," smiled Henry happily. Henry soon had his tests. His first ones were without any new paint. He didn't mind. As long as he performed well, that's what mattered. True to her word, Bahamas came by to see him and was so pleased with how better Henry performed. He had to admit his new firebox was splendid.
Doesn't even need special coal anymore.
Then, one day in early spring, Bahamas came by the workshops and was delighted to see Henry in his green coat with red stripes again. His final tests had just been completed. "Well done, Henry," said the manager of Crewe. "I'll inform Sir Topham that you'll be returning to Sodor first thing in the morning."
Hooray!
When the next day came, Henry didn't want to say goodbye to Bahamas. "Oh, don't worry about me," she said. "I'll be fine, but I'll never forget you." "Thank you," said Henry, "and thank you for your visits. They meant a lot to me." "Tell your friends dry rails and good running," said Bahamas. "I will," promised Henry. With steam white and feathery and smoke billowing high, Henry set off for home. Bahamas watched until he was out of sight. "Good luck, Henry," she whispered softly.
Wow.
Back on the island of Sodor, Thomas was working hard with Annie and Clarabel. He was just passing through a bridge when he heard a familiar whistle.
Thomas is going to be happy.
"Look, girls!" he cried to Annie and Clarabel. "He's back!" And sure enough, who should come puffing round the corner but Henry. "Hello, Thomas!" he whistled. Thomas was so excited he couldn't stop whistling. "Henry's back! Henry's back!" cheered Annie and Clarabel as both engines puffed past each other. "This is wonderful," said Thomas. He had been looking forward to the day Henry came home and was now hoping for the first chat at Elsbridge with him once he had settled back home. The Fat Controller paced the platform of the big station.
Marklin in the background.
The men at Crewe had telephoned him to say that Henry was on his way back, and he was waiting anxiously. Sure enough, he heard a loud, long and familiar whistle, and Henry came gliding into the station,
Welcome
letting off
home,
as
Henry.
much steam as he could. "Welcome back, Henry," said the Fat Controller. "You do look splendid." "Thank you, sir," smiled Henry. "Sir, I want to apologize for all the trouble I caused your father." "Don't worry about it, Henry," said the Fat Controller. "All is forgiven, and I'm sure you will prove to be a really useful engine from here on in."
He definitely will.
Henry promised that he would. All the other engines were delighted with Henry's new shape, but of course, we all know what exactly happened when Gordon was jealous of Henry's shape and decided to shape up himself.
The shaping,
But that's another story.
the reference to shaping up. That audio story I reacted to last year, where we saw what where Gordon wanted to try and show Henry shaping up, but backfired dramatically. It did. Oh, that was so great. It was so great to see what went on during Henry's time at Crewe. This would definitely work as a story in Henry the Green Engine, it would. So, yeah, I mean, it was great to see Bahamas. I like the reference to the Black 5 rebuild Henry got in the Railway series he did. And yeah, just seeing Thomas so happy when Henry comes back was also quite heartwarming too. So, yeah, just heartwarming all round to see Thomas's reaction, and just so great to see Henry become more of a happier and healthier engine. So yeah, it was great to see, like I said, see Henry's time at Crewe, how he was getting bored, met a friend he did, and let's hope Bahamas visits Sodor one day. I mean, I always wanted a story. Excuse me. I always wanted a story that talked about Henry's time at Crewe, and this one certainly didn't disappoint. Just a bit of a shame I won't be able to react to the Duncan audio story tomorrow. I will because of Eid. But I'm sure I'll enjoy that audio story when I get a chance to react to it on Thursday. I will. So I don't know if that audio story will be good because it'll be hard to beat this one. It will. I was really looking forward to this audio story when I first saw it teased in December. I did, but it definitely proved worth the wait it did. So yeah, a great audio story. Probably one of my favorites from season 7 of Kiva's audio story so far. You do want to see my previous Thomas reaction with an audio story or trends adaptation. I'll have a playlist up at the top right corner of your screen right now. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button for me. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of this audio story I reacted to. Also, let me know in the comments down below what other videos you want me to react to next. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok. Links to both of them will be in the description down below. Share the video, subscribe new here, and the podcast get notified. We upload new videos on the post in the community tab, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!